Hey there, cats and kittens. Marlboro Man from Wham Radio and New MTV, because we have a mutiny, people, coming right at you from beautiful downtown Mercy, Illinois. Try to find that one. Well, anyway, folks, we're here tonight on another episode of Marlboro Man's Minutes to Midnight to share a couple of entertaining stories. Try with the first one, see how far I get, and I'll give you the second one. Okay, number one story tonight is a travel story. Okay, so here's how the story goes. Well, as you see, I'm old, so once upon a time, we had been in high school, and it was sophomore year going into junior year going into senior year. See how much I hate school? I can't even remember what they did. Anyway, homeschooling is always the best, people. Homeschooling is always the best. As I was saying, we were on summer vacation, and well, my buddies and I got together, just a few people who I probably never see again after high school, which I haven't seen, so I can understand. But then again, I was the only survivor of this road trip. So here's how the road trip de la muerte goes. This is the road trip of death. Road trip de la muerte. And I'm probably getting that wrong, but anyway. Okay, so what happened was, myself and my buddy Mikey and my buddy Dan and our buddy Andy all decided to go on a cross-country drive. So we were going to go look at little towns and stay at little hotels and just basically kind of go through small-town America, you know, that type of deal. We just wanted a nice road trip, that's all. So we did go on that road trip. Now, as we were going along, our friend Andy, who had a lot of money, he was a little weird because we were splitting hotel rooms, but he always insisted to get his own room, and he even paid his part for our rooms. So we couldn't ask anything, of course, not really a big deal or anything. We didn't even think about it. But maybe it was 3 or 4 days into the road trip, and we stopped in Wyoming, okay? And there was a nice little town in Wyoming, with a nice little hotel and a place to eat, so we thought we'd go there. We were about approaching 18, so, I mean, you know, we didn't get carded back then. This was in the 90s, so we could drink and enjoy ourselves, eat dinner, and we were doing that. So this one little stop, we all went to dinner one night, and we told Andy, who's the guy with the extra money, we told him, okay, we'll meet you at the restaurant for dinner, you know, just see you then, you know. That's all, just see you then. But he never showed up to dinner. And unfortunately, what happened in the morning, when we realized he still wasn't, we banged on his door and he still wasn't responding, we had to end up getting the hotel manager. And the hotel manager went to try to open the door, but there was something blocking it. And lo and behold, what was blocking it? Love those cigarettes. I am the Marlboro Man after all. So anyway, what was blocking the door? His body was blocking the door. So he was found by us and the manager hanging from his belt from the hotel door, and he had his pants around his ankles, and he had nudie magazines all around. So he ended up dying from autoerotic asphyxiation. And as soon as the manager left to go call the authorities or whatever to handle the coroner, basically is who ended up showing up. We did have to take his money because he wasn't going to need it anymore. So that did help a little through the road trip. After that happened, we had to send him back to his parents in a box. That was kind of, just had to sign, little things, but whatever. Obviously, they have to send him home to his parents. So that is what happened. After that, though, we made our way down, driving on our road trip, and we went down to Arizona. And in Arizona, that is where another one bites the dust. So what happened in Arizona was that the guy Dan that we were traveling with, again, just a high school buddy, that's all. We went to a Denny's, and this this brilliant guy thought it was a good idea to he was hungry, I guess, and we went to Denny's and he started eating a club sandwich, not realizing there's a toothpick in the middle of the club sandwich. So guess what? This guy got the toothpick stuck in his mouth. So his mouth was like open, like that, with a toothpick stuck in it. And we called the paramedics and all that stuff. But would you believe he ended up choking on a little piece of that toothpick, and he also died. So yeah, I'm the only one that survived this road trip, because after that, and of course we grabbed his money real quick, well, he didn't need it anymore, so we were still on our road trip. It's not our fault that the guy, had to be sent back to his parents in a box. He's the one who chewed on a toothpick, for crying out loud. What stupid person does such a thing? So anyway, the next stop, we were finally in sunny California. Oh, it was wonderful. There were hippies and commies and beautiful people all over the place, and us just trying to hide our conservative values and this good time you could have over there, whatever you call it. It was I don't know, California is something to be spoken about, I suppose. But anyway, so we're in California, and then what happened next was Mikey is the one who ended up, well, we were having a good time, and we were the only two left on the road trip, and simply put, we were looking for a really good time, and, well, we did find our really good time, of course. What happened was basically, that we found someone who was able to give us a lot of pills, and Mikey really liked the pills, and I thought they were just for, fun, but he kind of really ate too many of them, and he ended up on a toilet, and he died on the toilet for straining at his stool because he took so many of these things. And this was a small guy. He had already a degenerative bone disorder. So that being said, he wasn't able to take so much. He took too much. He wound up dying on the toilet, just like Elvis. And it's kind of funny because I think we always kind of told him that would happen to him, him and his pills. I mean, this guy could not control his pill habit. And that's what happened to him when we finally got to Partyland, USA. He ended up on the toilet dying. So again, or dead, I should say. I didn't have a choice. I just took the rest of his money, and I had to go the rest of the trip alone. Wasn't too much fun on my own anymore, so I kind of ended up just going home. I think I took an Amtrak or something like that, because we were renting cars from one to the other. Back then you could do that. But anyway, it was lots and lots of fun. It was a good road trip. It's unfortunate that I'm the only survivor, but it's just some funny stories that high school kids do and get into. And quite frankly, if they'd had a better, I'm not gonna lie, I believe if they had a better upbringing, they wouldn't have died on a simple little road trip like that in the ways that they did. So I'm the one that survived, remember, so I guess my knowledge of how to do things reigns supreme, so to speak. All right, well, one more story for you guys real quick. Let's see how we are. Everything looks good. Real quick here, we'll tell you the story of my wife, Amber. So, my wife, Amber, was like Susie Homemaker as long as she was on her medication. But if she was not on her medication, she would actually become like this thug person, like this person that wanted to fight Mike Tyson type of a persona, and she would just turn into this other person altogether. that I, certainly couldn't control. So finally, after lots of work, we got her into a nursing home where she could take the right medication, and they were helping her take her medicine. And this was a really good, fancy nursing home. I don't know if you know how hard it is to get into one of those places, but it was difficult to get her in. But we got her in there, and everything was fine. She was doing a great job being Susie Homemaker until one day, see, she was a twin, and her twin sister missed the visitation, and she couldn't get in touch with her. So what does she do? She came up with a plan to try to go find her sister on the streets, and she got like a pass somehow to leave the nursing home, and she left, and she kept trying to find people who would let them use their phone so she could call her sister on the phone. So finally, she found one guy, and the guy would not let her use his phone. Apparently, maybe he was one too many. But what happened was, since he didn't let her use his phone, she got mad and she snapped. She hadn't had her medication, and with just a little penknife, just a little pocket penknife, she stabbed this poor guy 19 times until he died. And that is very sad. I feel so bad for the guy and his family and everything. But from that case, she ended up going to a state-run institution, a mental institution, for the rest of her life, because she'll, in those type of places, she will not be able to take her medicine properly, and she'll never get out. But she did stab this guy 19 times, even though I worked so hard to get her on her medicine and tell her not to do these stupid things. But again, like Susie Homemaker when she was on her medicine and when she was off, she was a thug, a killer thug, and she killed this poor guy just over the use of a cell phone. Oh, anyway, I hope you enjoyed those interesting stories tonight. I thought they were kind of fun and interesting and different. Unfortunately, people died in the stories, but again, at least they died in humorous ways that I personally, I knew these people. I've known these people. So, and then my wife Amber being in the institution forever. So I need a new wife, by the way. Anyway, don't worry about me. I'm sure another crazy one will come up anytime. As you can tell by the way I keep my friends, everybody must be crazy. If I'm the only one that could survive that road trip, come on. Well, I am the Marlboro Man, excuse me, cats and kittens. I am the Marlboro Man from a Wham Radio and New Wham TV, because we have a mutiny, people, and this has been a Marlboro Man Minutes to Midnight, and right now we're signing off, folks. I hope you found this very amusing. Have a great evening, and God bless.